Daf Lamed Ches Amud Aleph. We'll start Lamed Zayin Amud Beis right at the bottom. If a person left inadvertently, he left a keder on the kira, the pot, and the stove, ubishla b'Shabbos, and it cooked on Shabbos. Mao, what's the din? Is it mutter or not? Ishtik v'loy amar v'loy meeting. He didn't answer. L'malcha, the next day nafek darshlu, the next day he darshan to them, amavashal b'Shabbos b'shayg. If a person cooks on Shabbos b'shayg, then it's permitted to eat. It's mutter b'achila. B'mezid lo yoch. But if it's b'mezid, then the food is also b'achila. It's a kanas, and he's not allowed to eat it. V'loy ashno. And there's no difference. It doesn't make a difference in shoygig and mezid, and there's no chilik if there's shoygig or mezid on it. So he didn't say what the halach is. There's no difference shoygig and mezid. Is it in both cases mutter or both cases also? V'loishno. So my v'loishno, Rav Yosef Dam Vayolater, it's mutter. Meaning if he left the kira on the pot, if it's mevashel that we make this chilik and we say b'shogeg yochel mezid lo yochel. But if he left the kira, if he left the keder on the kira, if he left the pot on the kira, he left it from behind yoim, and it was just remained there with shaha, then it's loishna. And Rav Yosef says, Rav Yosef Tavayel, it's mutter. In both cases, it's mutter. Mevashel who the kovid mice. It's only where he cooked, where he did a mice of cooking. There we say b'mezid lo yochel. Aval hai, where he didn't cook, he left the pot on the kira from before Shabbos. It was just shah. He left it there. Now, even though he shouldn't have left it there, it had to be garfa cotton. But since he didn't do a maisa, it's mutter. So we say davke mevashel the kovid maisa mezid lo yochel aval hai the loy kovid maisa. But in this case, where it was only shah, he didn't do a maisa, but mezid nami yochel. So that's what they hold. This kanas is only by mevash when he did a ma'isa of bishul. But if it's only shaha, he left the kira, he left the keder on the kira mibayjayim, even though he shouldn't have. We're not guys, and even b'mezid nami yaichom. Rav Nachman v'Yitzchak Amar li'Yisur said no, it's also. In both cases, farkeret, it says in both cases by shah it's more chomer, and even by shaygig it's also. A person, normally a person would not come to be mechal Shabbos b'mezid. So he won't be mevashel b'Shabbos b'mezid. So even if we permit the food that was left where there is bishul b'shoigeg, we won't be that concerned that he'll come to be mevashel b'mezid on Shabbos. A person won't come to chil Shabbos b'mezid. So therefore, we can be materit b'shoigeg. It's not going to come to a chil Shabbos, won't lead to a chil Shabbos. So therefore we say b'shegi yochel. Aval hai, in this case where the Isser is a derabbanan, it's not a chil Shabbos deraisa. Aval hai, da'asila rume, he might now come to trick and say, he might leave it there b'shohi b'mezid and just say that it was only b'shoigeg. He might come like Rume and say that it was b'shoigeg and not b'mezid. B'shoigeg nami lo yochel. Therefore, we're geyser, and we said even b'shoigeg is also ba'achila. He's not allowed to eat it. So that's the machlekes that they have. Rav Yosef said tarvai later, and Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says tarvai li'Yisura. Meisvei shalchal keder al gabe kira bishla b'Shabbos. If a person forgot the pot on the kira on the stove and it cooked on Shabbos b'shoigeg yochel. If he did a b'shoigeg, it's permitted. The food is permitted. B'mezid lo yochel. But if it's b'mezid, it's also. Where is this said? It's davke if it's talking about hot water that it's not fully heated up. Or a tavshel that's not fully cooked. But if it's fully cooked, if it's fully cooked, then Rameir says that it's mutter. If it's fully cooked, then it's mutter. Rav Yehuda Omer no. If it's by chamin, I agree. By chamin shechol tzorach, it's mutarim, it's mutter, mibneshim, it's tamik viralik. Because the longer it stays in the stove and the kira, it's worse for it. The water evaporates, and it's nothing is gained from it. He only loses from it. So therefore, there's no concern. We're not concerned that if he leaves it there, he'll stoke the fire because the mitzvah viraloi is detrimental. He doesn't want more heat. It's opposite. So therefore, we're not concerned. And when do we say it's muter b'tavshel shebishul kol tzorcha? However, we say by a tavshel shebishul kol tzorcha. There we say it's also because by a food because the longer it stays, it's better for it. So therefore, there's a concern that he might want the increased heat. He might come to stoke the fire. So by chamen, Rav Yehuda says, I agree that it's muter. But by a tavshel, where it's mitzvah v'yafaloi, it's also anything that where it stays, the longer it stays, the better the food is. Can go and cruve like cabbage or pool and beans or balsa torah or chopped meat, awesome. Then it's also. But mutter. If it's mitzvah virolai, then it's mutter. So it says that the food is not fully cooked. According to Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, it's not a kasha. So according to Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, that he says in both cases it's lisur and it's also. How does he reconcile it with over here? When he says in both cases it's also, and here we say that a tavshel loy bishul kol sorcha, we say over here that b'mezid it's also b'shagig it's muter. That's kaidem gzera kan lachar gzera. When he says in both cases that it's also, he's talking about after the gzera, which we'll see shortly what that gzera is. So therefore, we can reconcile it with this brisa because even though he said tarvayu le'isura, and over here we say that there's a chilik between shoygig and mezid, he was talking after the gzera. After the gzera, they're both also. This is talking before the gzera. Ela Rabba Rav Yosef Damala Hetera, but they say in both cases it's muter, I kaidim gzera. If they're talking before the gzera, kasha mezid, then they have the kasha on a mezid, but still mezid, you see that it's also. And l'achar gzera, if they're talking achar gzera, kasha nami shoygig, then it should be a kasha also on shoygig, because we'll see the gzera involves shoygig as well. Kasha, staka kasha. We can't reconcile it because you see clearly that there is a, can't say they're both muter, because this over here we see clearly that the shoygeg it's muter before the gzera mezid it's also. So we see clearly that by mezid it's also, and if it's lachar gzera, then even shoygeg should be also. So it's a kasha. My gzera. So what is the kind of gzera that was in question? Amar Rav Yehuda bar Shmuel, Amar Rav Ava, Amar Rav Kana, Amar Rav. Initially they said if a person v'vashel b'Shabbos b'shogeg yoichal, if it's b'shogeg it's muter b'mezid lo yoichal. And not only cooking, they said by leaving it, forgetting it, leaving it on the pot, leaving it there as well, by just leaving the pot in the kira as well, that initially they said b'shogeg yoichal b'mezid lo yoichal. But when people started doing b'mezid, and they said we forgot, so the people were making a aroma, and they were tricking, and they said that they left it really there b'mezid, and they said it's b'shogeg in order to be able to eat it. They also constant the sheichayach, even if a person left the pot on the kira, and the Hansen as well, and even if it was b'shogeg, they said the food is also because of the people who are making that aroma. More kasha the Rameir, kasha the Rav Yehuda. We have a kasha, seem to have a stira from Rameir. We brought the brisa on Daf Lamed Zayin, what Rameir and Rav Yehuda's shitas, and over there it seems to be a stira on both Rameir and Rav Yehuda. Rameir in the previous brisa said that it's only muter for chamen. And here he's saying it's muter for tavshel. And Rav Yehuda is also a kasha, because over there in the previous brisa, Rav Yehuda said that it's muter, chamen and tavshel and muter. Here he's saying it's also. The Rameir like kasha halachatchila hadiyevit. Rameir it's not a kasha. Yes, he answered the tavshel. He only was matcha the chamen, but that's lachatchila. We're not talking over here, is it mutter to leave it in the kira or not? Romero over here is saying, l'chatchila, it's also to leave it. The question over here is, if he did leave it, is the food also or mutter? And I said, but the Evid over here he's saying that once it's done already, if he did it already, then it's mutter. The Rav Yehuda nami loy kasha. The Rav Yehuda is also not a kasha. Kan begrufa ketuma, kan b'shena grufa ketuma. Over there that he said it's mutter, the previous price he said it's mutter, where it's garva kotum. When it's garva kotum, then it's mutter. Over here he's saying when it's not garva kotum. When it's not garva kotum, then here he says that if it's mitzvamik v'yafaloi, then it's also imboilu over v'shomai. So the Gemara has a shaila, if a person went ahead and did it, is the food also a mutter? Mikansu rabbanan oilai. Did the rabbanan give a knas and say the food is also, or did they not and it's mutter? So for it's a pellet, because we just brought down the brisa right before, which was talking about if the person left it, is it also or mutter? So what's the Gemara's shaila? So Taisa says that we're talking if he did it b'shoigeg, according to Rav Yehuda, if he did it, he left it there, if he cooked it there b'shoigeg. Now Rav Yehuda does not say clearly, he does not give the distinction between shoigeg and mezid. So our question is, according to Taisus, in Rav Yehuda, if it was b'shoigeg, is it also or mutter? That's one approach. The Ritva has a different approach. He says that Rav Yehuda says if it's mitzvamik v'yafalai, it's also. If the food is longer, if it stays longer in the kira and it improves with time, with the increased heat, it's also. The shaila, according to Ritva, is if he left it in the kira, but then he removed it before it improved with the heat. He removed it so there's no benefit from that increased heat. Is the food still also or not? Were the geyser on the benefit, the mitzvamik v'yafaloi, what's improved with it, or were the geyser on the maisa? So is it also like Tashma the Amar Shmuel Bar Nasan Amar Rav Chanina Kishalach Rav Yisrael Tzipurim Matzah Chamin Shnishtal Gabe Kira? He went there and he saw that there was the hot water that was on the Kira V'loy also lamp. He didn't answer to Chamin, we said, is Mitzvamik Viralai. So he didn't answer Beim Mitzumaka is Shnishtal Gabe Kira, but he saw that there were eggs over there that were boiled and hardened eggs that were shriveled up. And over there, he answered them the eggs that were shriveled up. He did answer the bayim. The eggs are mitzvamik v'yafaloi. So the chamin is mitzvamik v'rola. He didn't answer, but the eggs he did. My love la'oisei Shabbos. Are we not talking when he answered it? Does it not mean for that Shabbos? Meaning that Shabbos, it's not. You're not allowed to have benefit. It's also to have benefit from that Maisa of leaving it in the Kira on Shabbos. Where it says, no, loy the Shabbos haba. What he meant to say is that it's for the following Shabbos, not for that Shabbos. He answered them, not the food that was awesome. The food is mutter ba'achila. There's no knas on the food. The food is not also ba'achila. What he answered is that Maisa. He said, in the future, do not do this. There was no knas that the food should become aser. What he made is he's aser them. He said that you're not allowed to do this. So for the next Shabbos in the future, do not do this. Do not leave this food, the bayam, in the kira. So we have no raya from here at all. So as a side note, however, we see from here michlal the bayam mitzumokas. You see over here that these eggs, the eggs that are shriveled up, that stayed a long time in the kira, is mitzvamik v'yafaloi. So you see that mitzvamik v'yafaloi in. He said, yes, that's true. We were guests, me and Rami Bachama. He said, Rami said, I and Rebbe were guests one time. And they brought for us Beim, and they were like sorbs, and they were so shriveled up that they were like sorbs, v'achalnu me'em harbe, and we ate so many of them, they were very good. So you see that bein that are mitzumakos, that the longer they say are mitzdamkos, the yofaloi, they see that they improve.